Welcome back to EVE Online, everyone. I'm Plays Games, and as usual, we're about to do a level 4 mission. Now, for me, it's been almost 2 weeks since the last time I made a video, and that was so this character could train their skills up a bit higher. And we have, if we look here on the character sheet history tab, we've done Interplanetary Consolidation 3, so we can get a 4th planet, and that 4th planet, as planned, has been an additional Baron because the lava planet seems to be much more productive than the first Baron we had. So we've got a second Baron and they're just about keeping pace with each other, so it means the other two planets could probably do rocket fuel. There's no point doing the ice planet to produce even more toxic metals if the two Barons can't keep up with it. So we'll hold off Interplanetary Consolidation 4 and 5 for a later date. We're still churning out the enriched uranium, which is great, making a little bit of money passively. Still, because we've only got 4 planets and it's high sec, and our planetary command center skills still quite low, the yields aren't great. That's 3 or 4 million a day. That all adds up over the course of 30 days. Heavy drone operation 3, drone sharpshooting 3 and 4, negotiation 1, which increases the agent pay by 5% per level. I just did that because it only took 20 minutes. Drone interfacing 4, which not only increased drone damage by 10%, but also combined with drone sharpshooting 4 unlocked Sentry Drone interfacing 1. So we've done that, and we've done level 2, and I'm 2 and a little bit hours away from doing Sentry Drone interfacing 3. I've talked a little bit about Sentry Drones in the past, but you'll see them in action now. Here they are. The ones we have in the ship are the Imperial Navy Curator, which look like this. As I said, they're just static gun turrets that you deploy. Do remember to not move too far away from them because they can't move. So to get them back, you're going to have to go and pick them up yourself. They all do different ranges. As you know, with heavy drones, of all 4 damage types, they actually travel to the target and attack them. So their range, in inverted commas, is your drone control range, but they're very slow. And the best thing about these sentry drones is that they don't have to move, they just shoot from where they are. But they all shoot different ranges. The Imperial Navy Curator and the Galante Guard are the short range ones, so it means that your EM and thermal damage are short range. By short, I mean it's still 50.4 kilometer optimal and another 12 accuracy fall off on top, so 60 kilometers isn't bad. But when you compare it to the Caldari Navy Warden, their optimal is 60 and their accuracy is 42, so these reach out way over 100, and so do the Minotaur Bouncer. So the Warden and the Bouncer are kinetic and explosive, and they are long range, and the EM and thermal are short range, which means that you do have to compromise a little bit in missions. Usually you'll take one set of Wardens and maybe one set of Curators or Guards just to cover all the bases, or you rely on medium drones until your Curators get in range. So we do have a mission lined up. We've done some more skills. The DPS on the fit was actually decreased slightly. It was up over 600 with Ogres. But remember, Ogres have to travel, and that travel time was a long time because they're very slow, and everything aggresses them and likes to shoot at them, so we hardly ever got a chance to put the Ogres out. We were relying mainly on Hammerheads and Hobgoblins for our damage output. But now we can actually output this 533.1 DPS full, because these are gun turrets, so at any range we can shoot these. And these have, the tracking's not very good, so they struggle to hit things that get too close, but then that's why we have a micro jump drive and medium and light drones to take care of anything that we can't do. The fit hasn't changed too much, other than putting these sentry drones on, because we haven't trained any of the sport skills yet. They're all queued up here. Energy Grid Upgrades 4 reduces 5% CPU need for things like large cap batteries, which is great because these take a whole load of CPU. And then same with electronics upgrades. This will let us have Tech 2 co-processor instead of this Tech 1, so that will give us more CPU. CPU, as you can see, because we've got nearly 6,000 power spare on this fit, it's all about the CPU. So all these support skills are ones that either reduce CPU, and here's capacitor management and capacitor systems operation, which give more cap and faster cap regen, respectively. And that's hopefully so we can actually do away with this cap recharger. And down here is resistance phasing. This makes your reactive armor hardeners better, because at the minute this fit is not cap stable with a reactive armor hardener. So again, that will make the fit better if we can get a reactive one here. And then all these various types of armor compensation make these passive armor hardeners better. Right, the mission we've got is called The Score. It's shoot 'em and loot 'em. Just a bog standard level 4. So let's see what difference Sentry Drones make to the equation, shall we? Blueprints wise, our cruise missiles are well on the way to becoming completely researched. As you see, we've got 9 out of 10 on material efficiency and 18 out of 20 on time. And today I just put them back in for another 4 days to get the 10th and final bit of material efficiency. This is the most important one because it saves you on materials. And then after that we'll probably do 4 days for the other one, because we do have more copies in the station, and they'll last fine for 8 days. Today has seen a big upgrade to Eve. Well, many people say it's a downgrade. See the right click menu, all the font is bigger and the menus are bigger, lots of other optimizations. But the most important thing is that drones will no longer automatically aggress NPCs on their own. If you remember, we'd go to a site, target one NPC, aggress it with the guns, spit the drones out, then the drones would just fly around and wipe out the whole site and we could go off and watch Netflix or something. Well, that's now been changed. Now you have to manually use your drones like any other weapon. Press F1 to fire this missile, and now you just press F to tell your drones to attack a target. It does mean you actually have to be at the keyboard and actively playing the game, but that's not a bad thing.
Warp drive active.
Many people are very, very upset about this because they like the game playing itself or they go off and watch Netflix. But that's just tough. This mission is a bit of a pain because the acceleration gates are a good 60 kilometers away, but hopefully the hitbox is large enough that we can just micro jump drive towards the gate and land the other side of it and hopefully still be within range or much closer than we are now. Right, things targeted. Let's spit the Sentry Drones out and press F on the first target. This 5 Imperial Navy Sentry Drones with level 2 skill versus 1 battle cruiser. And as you see, they're absolutely demolishing it. Because Sentry Drones are awesome. And this really makes this drone tracking computer really come into its own. It's really only designed for use with these things anyway. Because they have quite poor tracking, you usually have it with tracking, just so they can hit things like cruisers or even destroyers. I think this guy's approaching, so he's aggressed the drones. See, one of them's taking a little bit of shield damage. So what we'll do, we'll just bring them back. Right, that's this little group aggressed. Spit the drones back out, make them shoot the cruiser. I don't know why I was only firing 1 missile at that destroyer. I probably thought I was in the Stratios and finding a group of heavy beam laser 2s. Whoops. Yeah, I think we'll just concentrate on the battleship. And this is why Sentry Drones are awesome. If we were using even light drones, we'd have to fly from target to target before applying our damage. These guys just pew pew straight from here. They just hang out in space and just demolish everything. Now we're really seeing the benefits of being Omega. One other thing that was introduced today, it wasn't announced, but Tech 2 salvage drones have finally made an appearance about 7 or 8 years after Tech 1 salvage drones were introduced. Took everyone by surprise. often requested. They weren't even mentioned in a developer blog that they were thinking of making them. So they were most welcome. They're not quite as good as a Noctis, obviously, because Noctis has got proper salvagers and salvaging traits and salvaging rigs up the wazoo, but they do a job. So my main characters spent the morning inventing and building Tech 2 salvage drones and scalping them. We're making quite a bit of money off that. But Archdeacon Andreev is not. Balance wise, around just over 500 million-esque. The routine I've been doing is one tour of the Aja constellation in the Stratios in the morning, and then a couple of level 4 missions during the day around lunchtime, and then in the evening I'll do another tour of Aja in the Stratios. And that's been as much as I've played Eve, because I want to see if we can sustain Omega just doing that semi-casual playstyle I'd say about 2, maybe 3 hours a day. I think we're roughly on course. Come on, drones, there we go. Right. So we took 18% shield damage from this entire first room. Lovely, lovely, lovely. The mission we did yesterday I didn't record because I wasn't sure how it was going to go, because it's quite an infamous one. It's called Dread Pirate Scarlet, and it's quite a weird mission. You don't quite know which NPC you're going to meet. It changes each time you do the mission. And if we have a look at the bounty payments, we travel down to bounty prizes and scroll down. This is all this was from this one mission. You get about 30 to 35 million just from this mission alone, and a similar amount in loot. So it's a really good mission to run, but it can be quite surprising. Here we are, Corellum and Core Admirals. This is Serpentis in the first room. Second room was Corpus and Corelli, which is weird because it was like some Serpentis guys and then lots of Blood Raiders. And then the third room was Guristas. And we actually had to warp out of that room because they were hitting us really hard. We actually went back and got a kinetic passive and a kinetic active hardener to survive that room. And the fourth room is absolutely huge. I mean, there's tons of stuff there. See, there was Dire Pitham, which again was elite Guristas, and then there was lots more Serpentis, and then another reinforcing group of Serpentis, and then another group of Serpentis. In this mission, you're chasing a pirate called Scarlet through these 4 rooms, and if you're quick, you can kill her in room 2 or room 3 if you have really high volley damage, which we don't because we use missiles. So we weren't able to kill her till we got to the final room. But if you can kill her in room 2 or room 3, her mech will also always drop an implant, which is usually a +3 learning implant, which is worth about 9 million. And on top of that, her bounty is 5 million on its own. So you can get an extra 8 or 9 million in loot from that mission if you have a high alpha ship, which we don't. So that was a really good mission to run. Did one tour of Aja, then that one mission, and then another tour of Aja, and we made quite a lot of money. You don't have to play Eve hardcore all the time. You need to average about 46 million a day for 30 days to be able to maintain an Omega account. I mean, that's not difficult. We've done that before, but we were playing more often. We were playing longer days. But still, even though I've kind of gone into a semi-relaxed play style, we've still made 2.3 billion in the last 30 days. See, as we're running more and more missions, the amount of trade is going down because we're not getting as much loot, and the amount of bounty is increasing as we're running more missions. 283 million in bounty payments, still 1.9 billion in loot. So hopefully after all these skills are done, we'll be able to tinker with this fit a little bit more. Also put some targeting ones and then the planet mining ones as well. So we're queued up for the next 17 days. Well, this looks like another turkey shoot. Look at this. They're all spawning round about dead on our sentry drone range, which is nice. And now we have sentry drones. What we might do is take the Stratios all the way up to Caldari space and run 4 out of 10s, because now we have sentry drones and a mobile tractor unit. It means we can kill the boss or the structure at the end of their DED combat sites and just use the tractor beam to draw it to us. Sometimes, if you're lucky, and most of the time you are lucky, when your sentry drones are shooting at a boss, they don't... everything aggresses the drones, and when the boss dies you bring your drones back in and everything forgets to aggress you. So you're just sitting there next to your mobile tractor unit whilst the wreck of their boss is being dragged away and they don't seem to care. So it makes them so much easier and so much more efficient. I did already run the Sancha 3 out of 10 in that way, using the thermal guard drones, the Galente ones, and ran the site in about 6 minutes, which was nice. Yeah, drone should still be in range. Just kill all the little things first. It's like the distances in this mission were custom designed for curators. Look at it, everything's almost right on the edge of their fall off. That's not a criticism, I'll take it. I haven't even fired a missile yet. I suppose we better launch some battle cruisers. And then if we let these frigates come close, the curators would miss all the time. Because the frigates are aggressing, the curators are coming, they're approaching them directly, which means that they're hitting them really, really easily. It's just a little bit outside their fall off range. That's why they're all missing. What we can do, we can stop this and change it to the optimal range script if it will stop. The one downside of this module is that its cycle time is extreme. There you are, as soon as we put that on, boom, hits it straight away. Because our optimal range is now 56 and our accuracy is 14, 56 plus 14, 70. So yeah, that's why they've, all of a sudden, they were absolutely wrecking it. And that's why this module is awesome with Sentry Drones. And it was helping the mediums and lights apply their damage a little bit more, but it's really meant for these. It's the end of you, my friend. Let's just stop our missiles. The drones will kill him. Okay. So your drones don't even follow your weapons, which means in the olden days, as soon as you fired a weapon at a target, the drones would recognise that's what you were shooting at and they would automatically aggress. Doesn't happen now, you have to press F. Yeah, even with the range script, they're a little bit out of range of the drones. Then drones don't cost us any ammo, so there's no harm in setting them on them at this range. As the battleships approach, they'll come into drone range. So yeah, I think from tomorrow onwards we will go up to Caldari Space, because this is probably the 5th or 6th video in a row that's been nothing but doing level 4 missions. I'm sure you're getting bored of it by now. I don't want this extended playthrough to become like a job where all we do is grind level 4 missions all day every day to hit Omega Pay, because that's a really boring way to play the game. So I think we'll take the Stratios up to Caldari Space and do a bit more exploring. So that means what I'll do is that I'll put the planets out of production on like week-long cycles. So it gives me a week to go and run around in Caldari Space and kill things. So I don't have to come all the way back here to restart it, because you can't restart it remotely. You do actually have to be in the system. Right, so tomorrow that's what I'll do. I'll put this on a week-long cycle for all of them, and then I'll run up to Caldari Space. Maybe, if I'm feeling cheeky, at the end of this, I will put Amar Cruiser 4 and 5, so we can work our way up to a Sacrilege. Sacrileges are incredible machines. Tech 2 heavy assault cruiser. I mean, look at all the traits it gets alone. It's all about the missiles, the ship. Missiles and tanking. This is per level, so it gets 4% per level to armor resistances. Plus damage. And if you look at its native resistances on its armor, look at this. This is how it starts, without anything fitted to it. It's absolutely incredible. And being primarily missiles and missile traded, obviously it means it can do all 4 damage types as well. So the plan is, we'll take this up to Minmatar Space and run some Angel 5 out of 10 combat sites. And you think, why can't I do that in a battleship? Because this battleship is terrible
Warp drive
for
active.
running 510s, because it's big, it's slow, and it can't apply to small targets. I always use Tech 2 cruisers for running these. This ship will absolutely melt on one of these things. But that's a long way down the line. Yeah, 53 days of training away. I mean, it's pretty much all things you'd want to do anyway. It's all the support skills. Bishop Command 5 for agility, weapon upgrades 5 for less CPU need of all your weapons. That's a really good one.
Request accepted.
Energy upgrades 5, yep, it's all good stuff. It's all things you want. That is handing the mission. Right, let's go and loot. And then I shall report back on how much we made in that mission. Okay, it only took about 5 or 6 minutes to salvage that. We're getting good at this. So, only 1 bounty payment's come in so far. I'm sure we'll get another one, but that was 4 million in bounty, 1 million or so in agent pay, and about 8 million in assorted loot. So, it's not terrible, is it? 8 plus 4, 12, 13 or 14 million. And let's have a look at the time. Just over half an hour. Lovely, I'll take that. I'll take that and run with it. Right, this goes in here. None of that. We are gathering lots and lots of laser crystals. 19 different types of them. If you remember, the plan with these was to convert them into faction ones and sell them. I'll have to look at all the prices on them and decide what to do. Minerals wise, we are getting a lot of minerals from the melted down loot. If we ignore the morphite, because that's the stuff I accidentally bought 10 times too much of when we were building the implants a long time ago. 15.7 million in minerals just sitting around, and that will be converted. Well, some of it will be converted into the 3 cruise missile types that we use ourselves. So he actually made some new blueprints with the improved stats and just trashed the old ones. There's no point keeping them. And yeah, if we find any more succubus blueprints or blueprints for things like worms and healers and all sorts of stuff up in Caldari and Galenti space, and we can bring them back here and use this stockpile to build these. So that'll add value to that. Yeah, this is from this morning's run of Aja, just the one site. That's all we got, worth 325,000, which is awful. I think this is the loot from one other level 4 I did this morning before the shutdown. That's not bad, 27.4 million in loot. So that's another level 4 mission under the belt, and probably another episode as well. As I said, what I will do tomorrow, I will put the planets on a 1-week cycle, grab the Stratios with some Sentry Drones and head on up to Caldari space, and we'll get some new combat site videos made. So I hope you come back for that one. Do take good care of yourselves. I might get one more video out before Christmas Day hits. If I do, then I'll wish you Merry Christmas then. If I don't, I'll do it now. Have yourselves a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you later.